Hello friends, this is Harshida Parmar, and in this video I have given an idea of how the validations server controllers work with the our system, work with our web-based applications. Like we are interested to perform if a user forgot to enter the data in our text box, we just at the button click event we just give him a idea you just specify, enter a field, specify the informations in a text box. So for that we use a validation server controllers. I just use a Visual Studio 2008 as a front end tool. Now just click on a file, new, and then website. Okay, over here you just specify the location and site name. Like if I specify Harshida test underscore validation, and then click on a OK button. Wait for a few seconds. Okay, now you can see that first default page is given by the system. Now we just perform our validations operations with the use of a Visual Studio, right? So let's first of all design our HTML pages with the text box and button server controllers, right? So for that we just open our design part. Then after okay, good, we just insert a table like 2 rows, 2 columns, or 5 rows and then 2 columns. So this is what our HTML design concepts. We can say that this is a kind of a registration form, right? Sorry, over here I just specify the first name, that means enter first name. Just drag and drop the text box over here. Wait for a few seconds. Okay, now you can see that this is what the first text box. Now enter last name, or we can say that enter password. Same way, Control C, Control V just for the text box. Enter confirm password. And again just drag and drop this server controllers over here, right? Then we just drag and drop our button server controllers in the last row, and just from the use of a properties we just change our button text like submit. Okay, now you can see that this is what our kind of a registration form. Now what our target is that when by default without entering a data in a text box, if a user click on a submit button, we are interested to generate an error like please enter first name and please enter a password and confirm password concepts. So for that we just use a validation server controllers in our system, right? So just open a toolbox and then select the validations. Over here you can see that this much are the validation server controllers. So we use required field. Now what is the meaning of a required field server controllers is that our this particular text box we are interested to make a relationship. Whenever user by default submit a button without entering a data in this text box, we are interested to generate an error. So for that we use required. That means necessary to fill the informations. So first of all, we just make a link between these two, right? So just right click on a require field server controller 1, click on a property. Over here you can see that error message is like a require field validations, right? So you just specify your error message like please enter first name. So this is what a error message, but we also have to make a relationship between this require field server controllers with the first text box. So just again right click on your require field, click on a property. You can see in a behavior there is a one property name control to validate, right? So from here you just select text box 1. That means that this required fields validation 1 server controllers work for the text box 1. Again I repeat, this require field validator 1 works for the text box 1, right? So this is what a first simple demo example that how the validation server controllers work. Now we just take another example of a like a compare validator. So for that, what is the meaning of a compare validation server controllers? That means that we require both the value in a password as well as in a confirm password, both the text must be same. So for that we use a compare validator. So again right click on a property window, change your error message. Over here I specify like password and confirm password must be same, right? So this is what our error message. Now again same as above, we have discussed about control to validate properties. So first of all we just open our property of a compare validator 1. You can see in a behavior we have a control to validate. That means that right now we are linked this validator 1 with the text box 3. That means that whatever value I have entered in my third text box, we are interested to compare with the text box 2. Again I repeat, when I run this page, first text box is linked with the required field. That means that over here value must be required. Now our next target is that text box 2 and text box 3. Both the value must be same. So for that I have used a compare validator. You can see in a property I make a link of a compare validator 1 to the text box 3. So when I entered a value in a text box 3, it will compare with the value of my text box 2. You can see that the text box 3 value will compare with the text box 2, right? So now we can save this page and now we just run this applications. Okay, just click on the OK button. Wait for a few seconds. Okay, now you can see that this is what our registration page. Now when I click on a submit button, you can see that the error, please enter the first name. So over here I have specified Harshida. Now over here when I again click on a submit button, so you can see that nothing is happened. But over here in a last text box, that means in a third text box, if I write, you can see, oops, please password and confirm password must be blank. The reason is that the third text box value compare with the value of a text box 2, right? And then you can see that this is what the error generated by the browser, right? So this is how the validation server controllers works. See you in the next video. Bye.